That's the backpack in general. And just so everybody remembers, the backpack is only heavy twice a day. Once in the morning when you put it on, once in the afternoon when you take it off. Well, let's talk about gear. Let's talk about packing, things to take, a few tips of things I've learned. But first, let's rewind to day 31 of my Camino de Santiago journey. Okay, this is my last night before Santiago. So I thought this would be a good time to take a little inventory of kind of, what I've been packing, what have I used, what have I not used. First off, this is the backpack. A couple things about the backpack. I was not a hiker. Chase and I did an 8-mile hike when I was out in Colorado in December. That's the longest hike I ever did. I'm here in, hello friends. I'm here in Colorado outside Denver, going on my first real kind of hike.
Back to Carpenter, back to Willow Creek, back here.
Perfect.
8 miles.
8 miles. Way up here. Good practice. But there are things I didn't know. One is, the thing I realized is that you got to get this bottom belt up on your hip. So it is really super tight. And there's actually a little bit of room right here. The second thing is, originally, I was gonna have my water bottle in one of these side pockets. I couldn't easily get it out. So I found this little drink holder, and that was perfect for me. The other thing I learned is, most days, I would start out without my walking poles. And then all of a sudden, I need my walking poles. So what do? I can't reach them. It means I gotta take off my backpack and get my walking poles out. Sounds so simple, and maybe I'm just a simple guy, I don't know. So when I put them in, I make sure they're facing toward me. So when I put on my backpack, now I'm walking along, I need my walking poles, and I have them. Just so there's no question, I love my walking poles. Highly recommend them. All right, what do we have here? I've got clothes, toiletries, extra hat, iPad, clean clothes and a hat, sandals, extra socks, got all those in there. So this is how I started each day. I have on just a regular t-shirt and hiking pants. I then put on a long sleeve t-shirt, then put on my hoodie. This is a Viore hoodie that I got at REI. Then this really helps keep my ears warm. And then plus, obviously it's got the place here that I can keep my hands in here to keep warm, or to carry a banana. So what did I actually pack? So I had my gloves. I took 2 pairs of socks, darn tough socks. And then I had 2 pairs of these short golf socks. The second outfit would be another t-shirt, another long sleeve t-shirt, and another hoodie. I had a second pair of pants, and these actually, zip off. So if I want to turn them into shorts, I can do that. I only did that one time. Then this is just a pair of long athletic pants that I brought them to sleep in. But in reality, TMI, I typically just sleep in my underwear. And I did bring this wide rim hat with a back flap to keep the sun off the back. I really only wore this during the Mesita phase. And then I had a towel. I only used that once, and that was the beach at the end of the day. I did take a pair of long underwear. I highly recommend on the cold days. They work great. And then I took 3 additional pairs of underwear. If you're not wearing fancy underwear, you should. These are the sandals that at the end of the day that I would wear. I always wore them with a pair of these socks because they're pretty hard. I only got 1 blister on my foot and it was from wearing these on the very last day that I walked when I was trying to walk to the lighthouse. Let's talk about the biggest piece of gear that you can have when you walk the Camino, and that is your shoes. The shoe that I wound up getting were Keen hiking boots. So what I did is I bought a pair of shoes, and that's what I started training in. I was walking about 13 miles a day eventually. I did get blisters. So as I was breaking the shoes in, I got blisters. The blisters got better, they turned into calluses. The key to the shoes is you have to break them in. Now, since I'd already broken in the other pair of shoes, my feet were used to the other pair of shoes. I got the same shoe and started wearing that. And I put about 150 miles on these shoes, the new shoes, before I took them to the Camino. So put those on, then the darn tough socks, which are darn tough. You know, they never wore out or anything. And people say you got to take 2 pairs of shoes on the Camino. Don't think that's true. And then I'm ready to put my shoes on. The one thing that never happened on the Camino is my shoes never did come untied, which is not that big a deal, but then out here, this is my cover that goes on the backpack if it's raining. I've used that maybe 6 times this trip. If you don't have this on there, your backpack will get wet, and stuff in it could get wet depending on how much it rains. So that's important. In here, I've got my jacket. The jacket is so warm. I mean, almost to the point of too warm. Is because it keeps all the heat on the inside. But it's definitely, if it's cold outside, it's great. It's also got the nice hood on it that will zip all the way up. Really nice if the wind's really blowing. I remember several times when I was out on the path that, when it was snowing and the wind was blowing pretty hard. I mean, this really does protect you. My poncho is back here. And the only way to get the poncho is I got to take my backpack off, pull my poncho out, take it out of the bag. It's raining, I'm getting wet. Put the bag back, poncho out, and put the poncho on. By the time I get it on, I'm soaked, everything's soaked. So what I learned is I take the poncho, I just leave it out of the bag, I stuff it in the back. All of a sudden it starts raining. So now all I have to do is reach around, because I got it hanging out here, and pull it out. Now, put my poncho on, and I'm ready to go. Singing in the rain, I'm singing in the rain. I missed the trail. This is what's called an air porter. The air porter, I got this directly from Osprey. Zip it, it's all one piece. And it is a carrying bag. So if you want to check your backpack when you're traveling over, you can't just check it like this. It's got too many moving parts. So the air porter is really pretty handy. Just put the bag in here. Not super easy. Get everything inside. Leave the poles in there, and there you have it. Easy to carry, check it in. It's a beautiful way to do it. Up here, I've got something I've never used. First aid kit. Never opened it, don't even know what's in there. I also have my Leatherman. Cut, whatever. I've used it one time. That was to put a notch in this belt. That's the only time I've used the Leatherman. Now, up here, I have my headlamp, my universal plug. These are my reading glasses. This is an extra power cord, and This is my charger for my phone and my earpods and my watch. Now, I've got two little pockets here. This one has sunscreen, which I've used a handful of times, not a ton, but I've used it. The second thing I have is hand sanitizer. I have never used it. Judge me the way you will, I don't know. And then the other side, just has some cards in it for Poppy's Path. So if you want to go to Poppy's Path and follow, you can do that. I've got my coffee. Thanks for being here. Hit that subscribe button so that we can continue to make these videos. Let's talk about toiletries. This is what I brought. What did I use? My back was hurting and I was going to get some icy hot patches. They didn't have them. They suggested Comatel. And I rub this on my back and my knees now every day to help any soreness. And it's been great. I've had it for almost the duration of the trip. I have some styling gel. I just need this, not during the day, but afternoon, after I take a shower, I'll put in a little gel so I look spiffy. I want to look spiffy when I go out for dinner. So I use this. I have Barbasol along with a razor. I have not used that. Deodorant, always good to have. Dental floss, Aleve. I do have some Zantac, just in case I have heartburn. I've used it maybe twice. Toenail clippers, fingernail clippers have come in handy. Blister cushions, moleskin, bandages, Band-Aids, warm moleskin. I do have earplugs, which I used one time, and that was in, guess where, the albergue. I do have anti-diarrhea medication, just in case. Have not used that either. This is a shell I got at my favorite restaurant. I'm just bringing that home. That's what I would do. Put them all in one bag or something. I like this because it was somewhat thin once you put it all in there and spread it out. So it didn't take up a, kind of a block of space. It was just a sliver of space in my backpack. So good luck with that. Buen camino. Let's weigh this. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 18.2 pounds. So that's, again, it's only heavy twice a day. In the morning when you put it on, in the afternoon when you take it off. I'll probably have more electronics than maybe a lot of people, but it's important to me to kind of get all this cataloged as much as possible. Number one thing, and I think that's it.
Leaning on the rail. You're like the Bachelorette the night before the one-on-one. You just don't know what he thinks about you.
Get everything in my bags.
I was thinking you're a contestant.
Oh,
Hope he picks me.
I hope he picked me. He picked me.